I'm going to take a look at the stock market here today. As most of you know, in my some of my previous videos, I noted that at some point we're going to have a volatility event. It should be really scary. It won't be the top of the bull market, but it will be maybe your last buying opportunity uh, for the final melt up phase into a bubble top. So what I'm looking at today, a couple things. Um, this 14,000 here. This is an important um, milestone in my estimation. I think the Nasdaq needs to hold it here. We've tried several times to get above it. If we lose it again today, and of course the market hasn't closed yet, we're a little below it right now, but the close is what's important to me. If we close back below it, then we're either potentially finding a top and we're about to get that volatility event. This is really deep into an intermediate cycle, so it could come at any time. Or we're just going to have to churn a lot more around this resistance zone before we can break through. So, I want to ease up on the leverage right now, or if you have leverage, you need to have like a lot of time. So if you've got call options or something like that, you want to be out to probably June or July, just in case that volatility event is about to occur. And if it turns into an intermediate cycle low, um, then this could be a pretty scary drop down into an intermediate cycle low, and it will get recovered quickly. That's what happens in a bubble. The volatility event, it can be very scary, but then it recovers really quick. And then that's what emboldens the retail traders, that there's no risk, and then they all start to pile in. Sally Soccer Mom starts to buy stocks. On the possibility that this 14,000 is not, the breakout is not going to hold, and we're preparing to get that drop maybe into an ICL, intermediate cycle low, and that volatility event that I've been talking about. I've taken down leverage. If you're going to stay leveraged, you need to have a lot of time. And then the other thing that I'm looking at that may indicate that we're at least going to have some kind of corrective event here is the S&P. All right, so at the top here today, we were S&P was at about 3950. We're getting pretty close to that big 4,000 milestone. These big, obvious resistance zones. Very often you'll get an early profit taking event. Traders that maybe have been holding since the bottom of this intermediate cycle low, or maybe even got in here at this daily cycle low. They know that 4,000 is a big psychological number. The market's probably not going to go through that on the first try, and a lot of traders may rationalize that that last 50 points just not worth trying to catch on the possibility that the market tops a little early and doesn't quite make it to 4,000. If you keep hanging on, trying to get to the that big magical 4,000 number, and it doesn't quite get there, then you get caught in the correction and you end up giving back a nice chunk of your gain. So there's going to be a lot of traders that have been holding for most of this rally that are going to probably rationalize at some point here that it's close enough to 4,000. I'm going to go ahead and start taking profits and just make sure I don't get caught in a correction, which is more than likely going to happen at 4,000. So that may be what's happening here today. We may just have started a premature correction, and if that's the case, probably what's going to happen is we'll get a little profit taking event. It won't be too terribly severe. I would label it as a half cycle low in this daily cycle here, and then we'll probably get another push up that will tag that 4,000. So just going to watch and see how the rest of the day plays out, where we close this out. If we close near the lows, especially if the Nasdaq closes below 4,000, then we may be setting up for a move into a half cycle low, a little premature profit taking event. And then at that point, I think we're probably going to have one more push that'll likely will test 4,000 before we do get our next full daily cycle low, and maybe that volatility event that I'm expecting at some point here.